Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your captain for the evening, but rather I'm the third mate around here because while RG3 is off to play in Las Vegas at doing important business work, I'm here with you guys on the FN Hangout. I'm Zenith. You might know me from the DGen Roundtable. And with that said, I'm going to bring in my co-host for the evening, Josh, better known as Chocolatey Taints. Josh, how you doing, brother?
What's going on, man? Yeah, we got a little bit different show tonight. Definitely slightly different style, totally different faces, but same topics, same format. It's going to be fun. RG's out in Vegas right now, doing his thing for the PulseChain tour. So we were lucky enough to have the opportunity to guest host. So we got the StreamYard link up in the description. Anybody that wants to hop on in, come on in, and let's effing hang out, baby.
Looking forward to it. This is going to be a fun show. Looking forward to meeting all the Hexicans that are out there in the world. I know we have a little bit of a following, so one of my favorite parts about being on these shows is that I get to meet everybody. Speaking of which, we already have one person here who we're both a little familiar with. Tim, how you doing, man?
Awesome. How you guys doing?
Dude, better now that we got the stream going, let me tell you.
Yeah, really. I was wondering if we were ever going to get off the ground.
Or for sure. It was fun hanging out there in the background, though. We were just sitting around twiddling our thumbs like kids sitting at home without their parents. Like, where's mom? Where's dad? I don't know what's going on right now.
Yeah, all of us are over here trying to read the back of a frozen pizza box, trying to launch a stream when we need RG3 really to just come in here and save our asses. So,
yeah. So
that's what we got. By the way, everyone, if you're watching tonight and you would like to hop on, chat, ask a few questions, or just hang out, we have the link posted. Where's the link posted, Josh?
It's in the description.
In the description?
So all they got to do is click on the description. They'll say the StreamYard link. And yeah, the only thing that we ask, if you guys want to hop on and not be on camera when you're in the background area, we just want to, turn your camera on, make sure you're decent, make sure you're not a creep, anything like that. But yeah, at that point, you can turn your camera off and then we'll bring you on. So, but yeah, anybody's free to hop on just like the normal show, man. Same format and everything.
We're creepy enough as it is.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like in the world, it kind of goes like creepers, used car salesmen, and then crypto people. That's at least the general population thoughts.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy in his car.
What's happening, fellas? Well, I'm thinking
we got the captain in his white van with no windows.
Thanks for helping out, guys. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm in Vegas. I wanted to plug real quick what it is we're doing. I was out here streaming with Dollar Cost, and we were also streaming with Charlie from anyway, Cultivate Crypto, and we're talking about the Vegas trip. I want everybody to know that March 6th through the 9th, we are going to be coming to Vegas and doing a seminar. You're going to have 3 days of Top Golf. You're going to have speakers. You're going to have, what else? Food, every VIP event, all kinds of partying. And also, we're going to have the PulseChain Foundation is going to be doing a kind of like a hackathon / pitchathon for PulseChain projects, and they're going to be working on putting grants together for the project that has the best pitch. So it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of cool stuff. You're going to get to talk to some of your influencers out there, hang out with them, VIP event. We've got a lot of different events scheduled for the VIP gathering. Basically, we're going to be doing some, it's not on the site yet, but Kaylin, Black Hexagon, is putting things together, and we're going to have a bunch of cool, fun events, and it will be March 6th through 9th. Now, the most important thing to remember is this. If you want to get the block room rate, which is the discounted rate, you have to get signed up and your tickets paid for by February 2nd. Let me say it again. February 2nd is the deadline to get your hotel reservations for the Vegas event. So get on PulseChainTour.com and go check out the schedules and what package you might want to get in on. So that's it. That's my 2 cents. I appreciate you guys. Come on now, go have fun.
All
You
right.
got it,
Will
man.
do. I guess
Got it.
quick point of order. By the way, February 2nd is not this next Friday, but the Friday after that. So you got officially 2 weeks from tonight to get in on that. And if you're looking for details on the PulseChain tour, you can go to pulsechaintour.com. It is re-upped and better than ever. They did a revamp. So I got to say the website looks good, Cap.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, fellas. Timmy, good seeing you, bro.
Good seeing you, man.
Guys, thank you for taking over tonight. Appreciate you. I got to get on the road here and get back home. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, man.
have a
Drive
good
safe.
trip.
Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Cap.
See ya.
And
See ya.
he's out of here. Shoot, I was trying to do my favorite bit for him. I wasn't going to pretend to be the first mate because that's SJ, obviously. So I was going to be like, yeah, I'm your third mate, basically the fresh deckhand. I even broke out the old professional material. So
Nice.
Hey, we got IB in the house. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him on. Get a conversation going. What's going on, dude?
What's up, guys?
Hey,
Everything
how you
good?
doing?
well, it's
Everything
good
good,
now.
man?
We got the stream got off the ground, so we're happy with that.
Having issues with it?
Well, we just
Yeah,
didn't quite have
a
the
little
admin keys. It's kind of like RG3 asked us to go house sit for him, but he forgot to give us the code to the front door.
There you go. Just chilling there, waiting.
So we were sitting on the front porch for like 15 minutes. Like, hey,
Yeah, it was funny though, because like the stream is already set up in YouTube, so everyone's in there already waiting and chatting and being like, "What the heck's going on?"
Can't hit
We can
that
see
button.
the comments coming in over here, but we just can't launch the dang thing
Love it.
for sure. So, real quick, Mr. Identity Block, for the folks that don't know, who are you? What do you do?
Well, I've been around for 6 years. So if you don't know me, you probably don't been around the community. Just been around a little bit. Hang out on Strape Chat, Sci-Vibe. What's in like all the telegrams? Just been hanging around, hanging around good people like Tim and all the old OGs and whatnot, and just learning, just trying to put my little like grain of salt, I guess, grain of sand, not salt.
No, you're not wrong. We're all just small grains of sand trying to add to the heap. That's
Right.
I mean, that's kind of one way to look at the community. We've already got a pretty big heap going on, and it's only going to get bigger from here.
Exactly.
well, that's the hope at least. You know what I'm saying? And I think with adoption, that's definitely going to happen.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's definitely the hope. I think one of the big things that we need to do is at some point, I don't know when it was. I don't know if it was when Hex went from like 11 cents or 20 cents up to 56 cents. I don't know if it was prior to that, but at some point, I feel like the focus on the design and what Hex was built to do, it was designed to be staked. I feel like that got lost in the shuffle somewhere. And you had a whole lot of liquid Hex out there for folks, and they weren't using it how it was intended to be used. And I think if we want to be super successful, if we want to see Hex succeed in the next cycle and the second cycle and the third cycle and the fourth cycle, then it really needs to be emphasized big time that, look, this is designed to be staked. That is by design. And, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with keeping a little bit liquid. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep a little bit liquid, or, if you're going to do the, what Access Alive was talking about during the Hex conference, if you want to do one of those lock and roll strategies or something like that, and keep a little bit liquid and take that interest and push it out, Cuatro Cinco or whatever. But either way, the more people we get staking, the better the price is going to go up, and we're going to see those astronomical gains again. So
Yep.
It's just a mindset. It's just a mindset.
What's up?
Josh, you and I are the new folks when we compare ourselves to people like ID here. But when I got in, I remember that was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. A lot of the talk was around staking and building those staking ladders. But I think with all the sacrifices for Pulse and PulseX, and then all the different testnet launches and the actual snapshot and launch of PulseChain, there was just so much going on that I think people lost a little bit of sight about the actual functionality of Hex, and were instead focused on like, okay, I got to buy Hex so I have some for the snapshot, so when it launches, I have gas to do all my ratio trading. And it's like, you can if you want, or you can just stick to looking at the T-shares. So take your pick.
There was also a strong, I I don't know, a strong belief that, if the PulseChain ecosystem had been announced a week prior before it launched, then we would see sky high hex prices. And I believe a lot of people may have kept things liquid during that time frame to sort of do a little short-term capitalization on it or something like that. But yeah, I mean, I agree with 100% with what you're saying.
I remember that time when everyone was waiting for the PulseChain snapshot, because we had the V3 testnet announcement in early 2023, and then the price ran up to about 12 cents, I want to say. And then after that, we cooled off for a while just because there wasn't really any news. It didn't look like that was the official launch. And then we started having those rumblings about like the V4 testnet, and then it's like, all right, this might be the one. And then we started seeing it run up to like, I want to say like 8-9 cents at one point. And then like people, 12. yeah, again, it was that second one. I remember around that time, people were drawing charts saying like, oh yeah, no, we can totally go up to like $1.50 before this launches. And then immediately just like Richard comes up and be like, oh, hey, by the way, snapshot happened. And then everything just went. So wild game out there.
That was a good debate for a while. There was going to be a snapshot and a fork, like an announcement afterwards.
Yep.
Yeah,
we got a fifth person that I'm going to add on stream, but once he pops on camera, I'll add him in. Oh, perfect. Here he is. Speaking of the Hex conference, let's go ahead and bring in our fifth guest here, Mr. Matty Allen himself. What's going on, man?
Live.
What's up, y'all?
Make sure they show their face. It's like, oh, it's Matty.
Yeah, I think we know who this guy is. How you doing, brother?
Yeah.
Good. I made my background is like RG3's background.
I made my background like Maddie's background.
Hey, how was the interview that you just did, man? I mean, getting the dude from BitCon, that's pretty awesome. How'd the interview turn out?
Yeah, I mean, so I was nervous because it's controversial, right? Like talking to somebody who's just, come to the mainstream as like a crypto scammer. But I think the conversation went really well. He talked about his childhood trauma. He talked about feeling bad about hurting the people that he hurt. And we really like broke down what's the difference between crypto, which everybody thinks is a scam, versus like what is really a scam. And basically the difference is when you lie to people about what you've got. So in his company, they raised $400 million based on a lie. Wow. And in Hex, there's no lie. It does what it says it's supposed to do because it's part of a smart contract. And it's actually like has less developers than Bitcoin because Bitcoin has 5 devs to like keep the consensus code running. Hex has 0 devs because the code is locked. It was really interesting because he asked me about Hex and he like kept asking me more and more about it. And I think I gave him pretty good answers. And then I wasn't watching the chat, but apparently the crypto influencer Tiffany Fong was in there. And I don't know what she said, but she started following me on Twitter. So hopefully it means that the gates are starting to fall a little bit to where people are more willing to be like, why didn't Hex go away? Like, it's been 4 years. Like, what are these guys still doing here? And they start listening. Maybe some of it makes sense, or maybe they want to watch our documentary, and find out about our thing.
I watched some of the interview, Maddie. It was.
What'd you think?
You were doing well. I don't want to say anything bad about about him. I can see why he would be the type of person to get into legal trouble. He seems like that kind of personality. And but I did notice Tiffany Fong was in your chat thing, and I'm glad to know that she's following you. So I don't know the whole story behind his experience to really comment on it, but I thought you did very well with the interview.
I mean, the whole point is, of like what I'm doing these days is to try to get more people in who are not interested, like who they haven't heard about it because of one reason or another that might not even exist anymore. Like a lot of people, they've heard of Hex, but once they hear about it for the 5th time or the 10th time, then they're going to be interested, just like Bitcoin. I didn't buy Bitcoin the first time I heard about it. I wish I did.
There.
So,
Yeah, bro. I mean, you're the Tom Brady of market outreach. So absolutely, man. Is it possible that he could have been nervous, Tim? I mean, do you think that that's possible?
He didn't come across as nervous. He just came across like a very hard-hearted person. He's just, I don't know. He's from New York. So he's kind of like a typical New Yorker, just this hard personality.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I know I'm going to watch it as soon as we get done on the stream here. So
yeah, I mean, they, he also said that Netflix really spun it a certain way. He gave like 100 hours of footage to them, basically just saying whatever they wanted him to say. And yeah, I mean, so in the end, you can decide whether this guy is like trustworthy or not, and whether he represents crypto or not. But I really think, hopefully it came across this idea that like, the difference between crypto being a scam and crypto being a risky thing that could work out well is, whether there's fraud involved, whether you're lying or not. And that's where people can say, oh, Richard Hart, he's a scammer. But then it's like, well, where's the lie?
Right.
Where's the victim?
For reference, I think the Netflix documentary the guy was in was called Bitcon, right?
Yes. Just came out.
Yeah. So, oh, shoot. Yeah. Look at that. It just released January 1st of this year. So that's still fresh.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. And he was on Jason Derulo's podcast 10 days ago, which has 27 million subscribers on YouTube, but didn't get that many views. So
strange.
Yeah.
They learned that Jason Derulo has a podcast. Okay.
It was only the 2nd episode that he's done. Yeah. He just kind of is pivoting a little bit. So
there.
Good stuff.
Beautiful. So
what's been going on with you guys?
Just trying to spread the good word, and RG3 tossed us the keys while he was out of town. So we're just trying to figure out how to do this. It's been nice. This has been good.
Yeah, we just on Wednesday night we just had a monster technical analysis stream with Access Alive, Crypto Boogie, and our in-house TA guy, Agent J, and bro, that
was fantastic.
That was such a good stream, and yeah, Axis, dude, I can't even talk about how smart that guy is. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like the knowledge, the wisdom, the and he's so passionate about this stuff. You know what I'm saying? That it was just so awesome. Like I was on the show, you know what I'm saying? But I was doing some of the producing as well, and I was just like, there were times where I was like, okay, I got to pay attention here. I got other stuff to focus on. Like I was just getting lost in the conversation. And that's when you know that you're putting on a good show, is when the person producing the show is just like lost in the conversation. So but that was so much fun. Shout out to Axis, shout out to Boogie, shout out to Jay. I mean, those guys came ready. Those guys hit it hard. And yeah, it was phenomenal.
Axis is a great guy. I got to hang out with him 3 times in person now. He's a great guy to be around.
Yeah.
It's so much fun when we're going up too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
A fun time for sure.
Anybody who can like explain stuff on a chart and just make so much sense. I mean, that's really what hardened all of us into being believers, whether the chart was going up or down. I'm curious if you guys talked about the topic of Las Vegas yet.
As far as Archie's event?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was on here earlier and he gave us a rundown on what's going on with his event.
Did you guys get your tickets yet? I already got my tickets.
I didn't get any tickets yet.
Let's go. Let's go.
Did not get my tickets just yet. I was looking at the calendar. For reference for everybody, the events are the 6th through the 8th, and it's a Wednesday through Friday. So good news is hotels are very cheap during that time. Bad news is you're going to have to take some leave days on work to get there if you're doing it. But yeah, I don't have my ticket yet, but I'm planning on going.
The 6th is a Wednesday. March 6th, March 6th through 9th is a Wednesday through Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, 9th is Saturday.
In my case, I have to look at that in relationship to my house building project. So I can't just say.
Oh,
what
come
I'm
on. Building the house can wait.
Oh, I know.
We got a Hex meetup to go to.
Oh, I know. And Vegas is only a few hours away. So I'll more than likely go.
I'll be honest with you, man. I'm eyeing that cruise out of Galveston in September. That's the one that I'm looking at. That one looks like a ton of fun.
Where's
It's
Galveston?
different. Galveston, Texas. So I mean, it's on the PulseChainTour.com website. If you take a look there, they're planning a cruise out of Galveston in September. That's the one I'm eyeing. Yeah, for sure. And I mean, it's a little difficult with me being on the East Coast to get out to Vegas. I got stuff going on with work. I don't think I'm going to be able to make the thing in March, but I'm definitely eyeing that cruise in September. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
I'm gonna do a Bitcoin meetup again for Hex and PulseChain people. And this year, instead of Miami, the Bitcoin conference has chosen to go to Nashville, which I'm excited about. So we will be meeting up at the end of July in Nashville.
Nashville in July. Yes, sir.
Looks like July 25th through the 27th.
Yes.
Oh, wow. It's right around my birthday.
All right. Yeehaw.
As far as the DJ and Roundtable team goes, a bunch of us are all over the place. Like Josh mentioned, he's East Coast. I'm in New Mexico. I think we have somebody else over in Arizona and like Texas and like Great Lakes. So we've been looking for like one event to see if we could just like get everybody. And we're always looking at these PulseChain tour events because it's like, if there's a time to do it, it's kind of one of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've me and two other guys that are in the DJ and Roundtable, specifically Dace and Jeff. They both live in the Louisiana area, and so we were because I've wanted to go down to Louisiana to catch a LSU football game at home. Just always wanted to do it. They
cool.
got an awesome stadium and stuff like that. And sure enough, LSU plays Alabama November 9th in LSU in Baton Rouge. So I was on text with them and I was like, bro, why don't we set up some sort of Bayou meetup or something like that? So
Nice.
I think we're starting to sort of lay the groundwork for trying to plan something around that. So that's just another event coming around the corner. You know what I'm saying? So but that's what's awesome about this community is all the new people that come into it. You get a lot of people that just want to get together and hang out. And, the more people that can put on stuff, even a coffee hangout with like 2 or 3 people that live in the same state as you, it's worth it. It's worth it in the long run.
Oh, sure. Hey, Zenith, where is your Arizona guy located? Do you know?
I think he's in Phoenix.
Okay.
Around the area.
Okay. Because I have a Telegram group for Arizona meetup, and I haven't hosted one for a while, but I still have the Telegram group, and it's something that I do want to get back into. So just the more people I know about in this state, better.
For sure. Yeah, I'll send them your way after this.
Okay, cool.
So, Maddie, are you happy that I hope your life is less busy now that the Hex conference is over, because you guys looked like you were working hard for that whole thing.
Yeah, man, it's that was like the 6th conference that I've put on, and I mean, it like some parts are easier. Of course, the world record attempt, that was like the new challenge for this year, but I mean, it all came together because we have such great community, and I'm able to like wind down a little bit now that we pulled it off successfully. And I mean, you couldn't write the script any better with the prize pumping, the OA, and the Godwill coming around. Like, it's just, I mean, that's the power of DeFi.
That was crazy timing for that. I did want to ask you, do you have any official numbers for your world record?
So I'm very interested because my past life as a neuroscientist, I'm interested in precision. And so I'm actually going to have to go through multiple sources of data, like the Zoom data and the videos from YouTube and Zoom and basically all the signups that everybody did, because I want to give the Guinness Book of World Records something that they can't even dispute. And they're kind of like a centralized organization. So I'm also going to like feed the information into AI to make sure that it gets indexed in a way that where like people in 10 years from now, they'll be able to say like, who is the first group to ever set the world record for most YouTubers live? And it's going to be the Hex conference. It's going to be the Hex community. And the number is going to come out to be something in between about 210 and 220 that we had all together. And then the question is like, was everybody on screen at the same time, with like a couple Zoom glitches we had where it was only showing 25 per room. But at the end of the day, there was no record yet. So the record was 50. We surpassed that easily because we had 5 rooms running with over 25 people in each room. We had almost 50 in each room, but basically so the final number, it'll be rock solid, and I don't want to put out like a wrong one until then. So
fair enough.
Yeah.
Regardless, there was a lot of organization that went into that, and absolutely hats off to everybody on the technical side of the team over there, because that was hard to do.
Thank you. Yeah, it worked.
It seemed to work fairly smooth. It went well as far as I could tell.
Thank you. There was a practice round, and again, it's a miracle any of this stuff works on the YouTube side and the blockchain side.
I was going to say it's a miracle that most things work, to be honest, but
yeah.
Maybe that's just because I'm a cynical engineer and I've seen under the hood of a lot of things. So
exactly.
Hey, IB, are you going to Vegas, bro?
I'm not. The plan now is probably go to Puerto Rico. It's my next trip. So
are we talking about a trip or like more of a extended residency?
Oh, no, just to travel real quick, probably
Okay.
vacation. Like most of my family is in Puerto Rico, so I'm like the one that left and stayed in the States, and yeah, but
Very
Puerto
cool.
Rico is home. Yeah.
What part of the island are you from?
Middle, like Caguas, so like center, like middle of the island, almost like middle. It's just crazy. It's like I live in the middle of the States, and then in Puerto Rico, I'm the middle of the of the island. So
yeah. I had a chance to get out there before the hurricanes came through a couple years ago, and bro, I did the best zip lining I've ever done in my life.
Toro
in
Verde,
Puerto Rico.
right? Like the west side.
There was one, yeah, it could have been, bro. I don't know. All I know, bro, is they had this thing called the Super Beast, where it was a half-mile long zip line where you're on your stomach, and you are
middle,
just
like the mountains and stuff,
zipping through the rainforest and the mountains, bro. It was unbelievable.
Awesome.
Wow.
That's awesome, bro. Like almost nobody goes to those side of the island, because almost everyone that I see, they just tell me, oh, well, I landed in Isla Verde, which is where the airport is, and they just travel to the ports, and they just leave. So and technically, like when you pass that, you actually see like the biggest project in Puerto Rico. You see like a bunch of like not the best infrastructure of the island, but it's just and most people just don't go in, and like even when they travel, some of the guys that have gone, they go to specific areas that are a little more expensive or whatever. So I always try to tell them like there's other areas, and it's that much cheaper. And way, I mean, to me it's better because you get better like bang for your buck. So you're gonna be able to buy bigger property or like more privacy, I guess, like some of these. But yeah, just to vacation now. Later I'm going for good, so we'll see when that
There
happens.
you go. Shoot, the other day I was doing some moon math and I was trying to ask myself like how much would I have to make in a year to like actually go get residency, and like what's the cutoff for this? It's basically like, all right, well, if it looks like we're doing a 50x, I got to get there before the start of July. So, but shoot, yeah,
I like the option. Yeah, I've been trying to tell a bunch of people to go because it's like a contract. So technically, you kind of, it's almost like you get a T-share because it's like 15 years that you do with the, between the Department of Treasury and then Hacienda in Puerto Rico. So someone that were to do it right, does it the right way, maybe does like a 14 years T-share and then was to like take advantage of that, because it seemed that every other tax jurisdiction that I see in 3 years, 5 years, they're going to change. So to do something that you can kind of lock it and then it's there for the next 10 to 15 years, there's not going to be that many places, because as crypto goes, all these governments, you know how they are, money hungry. So they're going to be like, oh, yeah, we need money for the roads. Like, so.
Yeah, not super
Yeah,
thrilled about
there's an option.
not super thrilled about the whole threat to their fiat system, I bet. But shoot, if there ever was
100%.
if there ever was an advertisement for Puerto Rico, though, it is an awesome place. You can do a lot of cool stuff down there. I think in the same day I went snorkeling, saw a coral reef, went to El Yunque, the jungle down there.
Nice. There you
and
go.
then also did photoluminescent kayaking at night. It was
Which one of the base, like Vieques or the East Coast, or?
I want to say it was the East Coast, but I'm actually one of those weirdos that is familiar with the West Coast a little bit.
Okay.
Back in the day when I was in the ship, we stopped off in Rincon a bunch. So
Really? Okay. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Like my mom was born in Ramey base up like Northwest. So there's like the Air Force base up there, and
Yep.
Now it's like at a regular airport, but yeah, that's awesome, man. Like that, I mean, anyone that goes to the West Coast and then they don't have to travel to the metro for anything, mostly work. Yeah, it's an awesome place because it's way more chill. Like anyone in the West Coast is almost like different from the East. It's like I know it's a tiny island, so it's almost weird to say that, but like the personalities, even the dialect and everything changes. So it's more chill. Like if anyone likes island time, it's definitely the West Coast: Rincon, Mayagüez, Cabo Rojo, Boquerón. Yeah, and those beaches are more chill too. Like kind of less waves, more. Oof, good times.
I was a
Hey, we
fan
got-
of the waves. We actually went surfing over there, so that's what I was
So,
about.
but in Rincon though, right? Like when the waves in Rincon, because Rincon's got really like break and everything. So
Actually, never ended up stopping to go surf in Rincon. Whenever we stopped off in
Really?
San Juan, we went over there. Shoot, I forget the name of the local spot. It was, I thought it was like 6 something, but it was this
Seven
break.
Seas?
Maybe
Wow,
not.
maybe not.
I just remember
Seven
it was
Seas
this.
Baja, the East Coast.
It was a break where there was like a rock wall that's a jetty that goes out like 200 feet. And then the way to do it was you walk out on the rock wall to the jetty because the break was towards the end.
Okay.
But then you're like 200 feet from the shore. So you got to go all the way back once you're actually in the water.
That sounds fun. That sounds like a workout. Yeah, no clue. Maybe if it was Vega Baja up north, there's like Mar Chiquita. There's like a big old rock wall over there. Like you can see every so often. But yeah, Rincon is good. They used to have like surfing championships over there and everything. So
Sure.
yeah, I haven't been since like 2018. I need to go.
But imagine maybe a few things have changed since then.
Oh, everything. I mean, like it's like Josh was saying, like just the hurricane changed so much. I mean, yeah. The hurricanes in late 2017. By the time I went in 2018, it seemed like everything was clear or clean, but it was like, all right, I know something was there. There was a building there. There was like all kinds of trees over here. So yeah, no, like Puerto
Shoot,
Rico changes every time there's one of those big ones, like every 15 or 20 years.
I was gonna say it kind of feels like they keep getting hit. If you're in that part of the Caribbean, you're in the path. Like that's just where it goes. Shoot, during the time I was living in Florida there, I think it was either it might have been 2018, but there was a period I was gone for 3 months, and in that 3 months, like 3 different hurricanes rolled through, and I was like, I don't know if my house is still gonna be there when I get back.
Yeah, Florida is scary because there's no basements over there, and then most of the house, at least in Puerto Rico, most of the houses are concrete or cinder block. So you feel that could take like a 200-mile-an-hour wind, and unless the windows are gonna like the pressure or something pops them out, then you're gonna be safe. But in Florida, I wouldn't feel comfortable even 110 or 120-mile-an-hour wind gust, because I remember in like 96 there was like Andrew or George that in some places of Florida, like I mean, they just picked up the houses like completely. They were just like a slab there, and then I was like, oh, whoa, that was a different hurricane that I've seen in Puerto Rico. So yeah.
Dude, I just remember walking around like downtown San Juan. It was like, yeah, sure, the buildings are going to hold up to a lot of like wind and stuff. But looking at the electrical grid and it's all just like tied, like 50 lines going into a single telephone pole. I'm just like,
Yep.
Yeah, that's the sketchy part.
That is the sketchy part. When that was the 2017 when the hurricanes happened, that was the good time, in my opinion, to completely refurbish the whole infrastructure for electricity. And Elon Musk tried. He basically said, "Hey, I'll do it for free." But of course, he was going to try to run it for however many years and this and that and the other. And then the Puerto Rico government, it's like a little, you can tell it's like a little like cash cow for them or what, not cash cow. What is it called? Like the golden goose or whatever. Because every so often they just lease it and then somebody pays them a bunch of money to run it for like 3-5 years. And then they leave it the same way or worse than they got it. And then nothing gets fixed. So he tried, but they just straight up said no. So he was like, all right, I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna fix up like a couple of hospitals, and then I'm out. So you can't blame him.
Puerto Rico, great for tax benefits and breaks. However, maybe running a validator out of there, it's iffy.
Hey, if you guys want, we can just bounce off stream and you guys can keep talking if you guys want to.
Sorry, I know we're taking over.
Welcome to the FN Hangout Puerto Rico edition. Hey, shout out to the chat right now. We got 79 people watching live. Chat's on fire. It's typically always on fire. So shout out to the chat. You guys are rocking and rolling in there. Big shout out
to price predictions.
Price predictions.
We want price predictions. That's what it says. All right, you guys go first.
Price predictions when?
Yeah, I predict the price of Pulse will hit 3 zeros and a 17. That's my prediction. It will hit that at some point. You're up, Zenith.
Bold.
That would be very, very bold. Do you want to like slap a timeline on that one or something?
I don't know.
I mean, honestly, the way that we're trending, like give it a week or two, we might do that. Maybe even less. Shoot, I think one of the figures that I've seen for PulseChain, at least this bull market, is people talking about hitting like 1 to 2 cents. It's definitely possible, and I want to say from like absolute bottom where we had 4 zeros and a 3, I think that's our bottom. Yeah, if you go to 3 cents from there, that's 1,000x. So
nice.
Yeah, I mean, if you use Hart's Law, if you get 1 cent hex, or I'm sorry, if you get 1 cent pulse, that's going to be $2 hex, and it'll be anywhere between 3/10 to half a penny for Pulse X.
I think Pulse X is going to flip Pulse.
You think so? This cycle? You think that's going to happen this cycle?
That would be awesome.
I'm not putting a timeline on it, but I think it'll happen. Yeah.
With the way that PulseX has been running this last week, it definitely looks like it has potential to possibly do that. Because for a long time, it's just been like lagging Pulse and Hex, and then all of a sudden this last week, it just surpassed it real hard on that gain.
It doesn't matter because the incentive token is just going to absolutely crush everything.
I need some
all-time high incentive token this year.
I need some help understanding why incentive token is the magic token, because my understanding is that it just keeps inflating as we just keep validating and staking and stuff. So
it's like dog with winner. It's like dog with.
It has a cap supply though,
except it doesn't have the hat or the dog. That's why.
Okay. All right. So you're basically saying just whale games.
I mean, yeah. Why does anything go super high? It's because people think it's funny.
Scarcity.
People buy and they hold.
Yeah, it's true. Buy and holding.
What's going on, Trap? How you doing tonight, dude?
What up? Where'd RG3 go? What happened to him? What up, Tim?
In Vegas.
What up, ID? What up, Maddie?
What's up?
What up, Zenith? What up, Josh?
What's up, man? Yeah, he I think he might be. I know he's in Vegas. So not sure what he's doing.
He was on his way home.
Yeah, that's true. He did say he was on his way home. He was he was with Charlie and Miguel, pretty much talking up the PulseChain tour, talking about their meetup that they have coming up in March. So
doing the legwork.
Yep, doing the legwork.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
Trap, do you have any price predictions for this cycle? Any of the Richard Hart ecosystem tokens?
Buy them now. Buy them when they're low. I would say buy them right now.
Where do you think they're going?
Oh, I'm not here to give financial advice to anybody.
I mean, obviously, nothing here is financial advice, but
Yeah,
we like to do moon math.
They're gonna go high. They're gonna go higher. That's my prediction. They're going to go higher.
Solid.
Love it.
I like it.
I mean,
I
that's
like it.
that's bullish in my opinion. They're gonna go higher.
For sure.
You're going to see one green candle, and then there's going to be a larger green candle beside it at some point, and then an even larger one beside that one at some point. So that's my prediction.
I think you're describing last week, but okay.
I don't think Richard's going to embarrass himself in this.
That's a good point.
No, one of the things that I've held on to one of the things that Richard said I've held on to is that he's in this for the glory, and I think the glory in this is just really just pumping hard and showing that his product is going to last the test of time and stick around for multiple cycles instead of just do one big pump and then go die in a bear market. So
yeah,
exactly.
I could be wrong. Like, I don't know for certain, but that's how I'm placing my chips.
Well, look at the chart. What has Richard said in the past? He wants that hockey stick chart, and he's
what's the best chart
right now? He's getting it. I mean, it's there. Just look at it.
So what are you guys' thoughts? Like maybe Bitcoin keeps doing its thing down and we go like 2020 where as they were dumping, we were pumping. We did like 30, 50x, whatever we did in 2020.
I think it would be hilarious if Richard's 11K prediction for Bitcoin came to pass because of this stupid ETF that got passed. It's like Bitcoin was invented to do away with legacy finance and the banks. Now they're going and kissing the butt of legacy finance to get their bags. And it's been
all they're doing is dumping. Like Grayscale's dumping like crazy. It seems like the other 10 ETFs are getting money in, and then Grayscale's just bumping it right back out.
Look at the volume that's been happening, and then you see no action in the price. Zero action.
Yeah,
in the
by day 3 there was more outflows. So they I mean the funny thing though is just they were focusing on the billions. They were saying, "Oh, there's like $3 billion today," and they're like, "Yeah, but there's more coming out." Just remember that part. So like by day 3, Grayscale is they've already taken out a couple $1 billion.
I could see this going. I could see this going like 2018, 2019 Bitcoin, where like it just goes sideways at 6K. Everybody says like you're never gonna get the chance to buy Bitcoin below whatever we're at, like 40K or something. It just goes sideways forever, longer than people think, and then boom. Shoots down 40% and then goes to the moon. So like, yeah, I think that's a possibility. We could see a repeat of history here.
Like Tim was saying, 10K and pray. 10K and pray.
I mean, the OA is not using its funds now as if the macro environment were set up poorly. Silver the Antidote said that. And, the OA knows about Hart's Law. The OA has been buying Pulse and PulseX, it seems. And that would indicate, as many other factors may be indicating, that macro is actually set up pretty good. And so, that's something to keep in mind. It's like not a sure thing, but it's a pretty good observation.
We were also due for a pullback on Bitcoin anyway. I mean, if you remember from pretty much September, October up through the end of the year, Bitcoin dominance was going up. Bitcoin was running up in price, and it was getting super overbought to the point to where, because at the end of the day, when you look at a chart, you don't want a price to go absolutely vertical, because you got to think of like what an airplane does. If a plane goes absolutely vertical, then it's going to stall out and nosedive. You want to have those healthy pullbacks, and Bitcoin was due for a very healthy pullback. So, with a solid, strong pullback right here, it's only going to help with the 4-year cycle narrative and continuing along the path. So,
But
it was
what
good.
about the switcheroo though that they did and they flipped it for like this cash craze? Because it seemed like the whole, in my opinion, and then anyone can like discuss this, the whole pump from 25 to 40, whatever they did 48, or at least 45 before the announcement. It was all in expectation of a spot Bitcoin ETF. So it was expectations of billions of dollars coming to buy hundreds of thousands of liquid Bitcoins, because there's not like these millions of Bitcoins that everyone thinks liquid, whatever's not locked in some exchange, or it's not in Satoshi's wallet, or it didn't get lost, or it's not been minted yet. There's not that much. So if they
Well,
were going
what
to pump billions of dollars, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, I think Bitcoin's going to go to 100,000 or whatever it did," and then they flipped that, and now they basically can manipulate the price of Bitcoin just like they do with gold and silver.
we
Yeah.
see right here going on with Bitcoin, and Crypto Ewok right here just said it perfectly in the chat. This is a perfect example of buying the rumor and selling the news, because
Mhm.
the rumors started in the fall. That's when the rumor started, and there was grumblings.
No, the summer.
then-
Like they
Yeah, okay,
announced
yeah,
it in
we
the
could even
summer,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So
Josh,
even
there
in
was
the
a-
summer, but
There was an article that we covered at the end of August where there was that fake article, or the fake ETF announcement, and on
Yeah.
that singular day, it pumped. Shoot, I got it pulled up right here. It pumped from like 26 all the way up to 28 and change on just like a fake article that came out, and then it was announced that it was fake, and 2 days later we crashed all the way back down to like 2,600.
Yep.
So like IB was talking about,
That's
we've
not a
basically bet on
crash.
excuse
Like
me,
a little,
not-
like I guess.
you're right. It's not a crash. It's definitely. I'll call it a correction. How about that?
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, look at
Yeah,
the
but
look at
IB's
the
right.
tweets that
Since
the
Sep-
Twitter put out. SEC's Twitter put out. They affected the price more than
Yeah,
anything
that was.
with the ETF.
And nobody like talked about.
They
that. Like,
violated
it
their
was
own rules that they
weird.
set in like July.
Oh,
yeah.
shocker.
Are you
security.
talking about
I mean-
the Are you talking about the tweet that went out the day before the ETFs
Yeah,
were approved?
Exactly, and then
Yeah.
they affected the price.
Yeah.
Their Twitter, the SEC's Twitter account, affected the price of Bitcoin probably more than anything that's affected it. Not anyway.
And did you notice that it was not discussed the next day how many people got liquidated, even though there was liquidations up and down? Because
I
it flipped
kept
to like
track of it.
48 and then it went down to like 43. It was like, wah, wah! And there's like, I bet everyone's like, what just happened? And there was like, here's your liquidation notice. Like, yep. Because
Everybody,
it was quick.
everybody acted like there was going to be some glorious dump of Bitcoin, like that there was going to be some real sell the news event, and I haven't seen that. It's what is it, down 10% or something? Like
Bitcoin's
that's so weak. That's nothing. That's
Yeah.
one day.
That's normal
Bitcoin-
fluctuation.
Bitcoin has also formed a very strong layer of support at that $40,000 to $42,000 range. Like, it's very strong. It's going to take.
Which is remarkable. I mean, that's not what the main crypto narrative was thinking was going to happen. And so we are doing what happens every time, which is like, the halving, like the closer you get towards the halving's in like 90 days, the closer you get there, the better. Like macro like should still give us a good dump at some point, but overall then the Fed easing should, again, like macro's set up in a really good way. I mean, if you're super short term, you might get wrecked. Bitcoin might dump 40%, but I mean, that would be that's what most people were expecting for sell the news. But we didn't get that.
And I
which
think
is
that's what they
interesting.
want too, Maddie. Like you could tell, like now that they're in, meaning like the banks and all that, even as active participant, Jamie Dimon was all like trashing now Bitcoin, the asset, which is funny because he was like, "Oh yeah, Bitcoin, this is just like it's just scam and this and the other." But he's making money out of a derivative, rehypothecated derivative of the asset, and then he calls the actual asset a scam, which makes
Yeah.
no sense to me because he makes fees out of the derivative. So yeah,
They might be just thinking, don't play in the casino, just own it. But as far as the buy the news, buy the rumor, sell the news stuff goes, this is something I was paying attention to before we had the ETF announcement. Because if you go back to the 3rd of January, there was actually a pretty big red candle on that day. It's smaller than the red candle that happened after the ETF announcement came out, but the interesting thing is that literally double the amount of people got liquidated on that smaller red candle because it was pre-ETF announcement. So what I saw with that is there was $600 million of of future stuff that got liquidated, and then there's only $300 million that got liquidated after the ETF announcement. So that tells me is that people of pre-announcement were still waiting for it to go up, but then once we had the announcement, everyone was like, all right, it's probably going down.
Right.
Hey, one thing that look, I love what MT Coiner said, or Mount Coiner, whatever he said. We're underestimating Hex first cycle, and I think a lot of people in this community, not just in this community, but in the crypto community itself, underestimated what Hex did, and now they're going to start to realize it. I think that is something that should probably be talked about more.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially like right now, like people, for the first time in a year and a half, 2 years, they may have seen positive moves in their own portfolio. They may have seen themselves flash in the green. You know what I'm saying? So now is not a time to fumble your bags.
Well,
You don't, you're going to get that itch, you know what I'm saying? To where you start to see that money starting to go up and you're like, okay, I don't want to pull back. And then pullbacks happen and they're like, okay, well, let me go ahead and chase this green candle, or, hey, I've made this, let me chase this. Now's the time to just sit back, relax. You have a plan in place, hopefully. And just let
stake your Hex. Let Hex pay you while you sleep.
100%.
That's what Tim said. Tim said he gets paid to
there you go.
Use it what it was intended to be used
Tell me
for.
something better.
What's that?
It's talking about how you said on Matty Stream you get paid in Hex to sleep. Like you get paid while you sleep.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
0 UTC.
Just describe Hex in 3 words. Paid to sleep.
Yeah. That was fun.
I loved it. I love that, Tim.
Trap, you can't say that enough though. Stake your Hex. I said this, when we started the show, that's what it was designed to be used for. So stake it. That's what it was designed for. Let's do it.
Yeah, exactly. Now there's all kinds of coins that they can use if they want to be liquid, and then just maybe shift the amount, because the problem that we used to have all the time, it was like there was some people putting too much money, too long into the future, and now just
if more people
portfolio, I guess.
If more people stake, number go up. So do your part.
That's for sure. Yeah, we need to get that 9%. Let's get to 9 point something. Let's get to 10%. Yeah.
I mean,
well, guys, I'm gonna skip, but have some fun. Happy Friday, and
man, good seeing you.
All righty, guys.
It's always good seeing you, Adi.
Later, guys.
Take care.
I'm gonna bounce too because I've been on camera now for over a couple of hours. But yeah, appreciate you guys. And I love the FN Hangout. I love that you're all here representing the team. So shout out to all of you.
Yeah, happy to be on the team. Thanks for showing up.
Appreciate you stopping in. Yeah, dude.
Thanks, guys.
Get some rest.
Yep.
Dude, that man, he doesn't quit. Shoot, he did a full, 2-hour stream earlier today, and then he comes on here as well. So he's a busy guy.
He's a machine. He just goes on for hours and hours and hours.
Yeah, it's stamina for sure. Shoot, like every other week we're doing the book club, and then sometimes Josh tries to coax me to come on here and show up, and I'm like, all right, well, I guess we're streaming 4 hours today instead of 2. After a while,
once you start going and having fun,
oh, for sure.
You don't even realize. You're like, you look up over in that left corner, and you're like, oh, we're going 3 hours now.
Trap, you look like you're about to go hunting like as soon as this stream
ends. I've been hunting the shit coiners all day. Look, I got my orange on. I got my camo on. Look, I'm making sure they don't shoot me because I'm not no shit coiner. So, I've got
love it, man.
Good stuff. You sound like, you sound like one of the other guys on our team. Setting man, not Nate? No. Why am I blanking? I know our own team. What are we doing here, John?
I don't know. Who are you thinking of?
Ascending Man.
Yeah, Nate.
Mr. Nate. Oh, I did have it right. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, Nate.
Yeah, he's also been hunting shitcoiners. When the liquid loans program came out, he's just been out here just collecting people's liquidated vaults left and right. I think in the first like 48 hours, he claimed like 2 million pulse off people getting liquidated. And it's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, we don't want to get me on that rant tonight.
All right. Fair enough.
I'll get
I'm
it.
just saying.
Y'all
You
said
know,
that
it
all
ties
the rage
into-
here. I might go get guns for y'all here in a second.
Don't do that.
Can't do
That's,
that
how,
on
that's how
that
Boogie
Hangout.
lost his first channel.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, fun fact, you can't actually handle weapons live on a YouTube live stream.
Oh, so
I
you
think
just have to
Archie
make a
got
video.
in trouble at one time for having those fake guns.
Oh yeah, the
For
old
FN Hangout,
blunderbuss.
I think he got in trouble for that one time.
It's possible. So if you guys know US Crypto Boogie, he's a friend of ours that streams a good bit. If you try to go look him up now, his channel is called US Crypto Boogie because the first one got banned because he was trying to blend like crypto stuff and then also doing some like range and gun content. And they
Oh,
did
hell
not
yeah.
like him showing off the gun of the week on stream. So that quickly got that one axed. But yeah, he's back up and at it. So go help him out if you can. He could use a few
Hey
more
kids,
subs.
this is how you load a 357 Magnum.
They were real guns.
Oh,
there
RG
you
says
go,
they're real
RG3.
guns.
RG's in the
Hell
chat.
yeah.
There you go,
Hold down the
RG.
facts.
We
Guns.
promise we're not trying to get the show taken down or anything, so we're sticking to those rules. Yeah, no guns live. You got it, brother.
There you go.
I got your guns right here, baby.
There you go, Tim. That's what I'm
There
talking
you
about.
go. Hell yeah. Multiple guns.
You know, Corner brought up a really good point, man. I've just been sitting here thinking about it in the back of my head. I really do feel like PulseX. I feel like in a lot of ways it will turn out like Hex's first cycle, where it's very undervalued. I think it's very undervalued right now, and I think it's going to melt faces. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see how many people can ride the ride as it ascends and as it pulls back and as it ascends. And so it'll be interesting to see how that happens. What do you guys think about that?
I think you're not wrong.
I love the
but
people that
mo-
are still here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The people that are still
We've
here
had
after
a brutal bear
everything.
market.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the people that are still here are the true believers.
The real G's.
There you go. I mean, this is something that Richard was talking about. He talks about trying to root out all the weak hands in crypto, and that's why he had his 11K Bitcoin target. Was he said we need to get all the weak hands out, and then I know people were upset that the SEC case happened and we had that massive dip, but I tell you, all the people that are believe in this project looked at that and we said, okay, cool, time to double down.
But if you look at the whole SEC thing, what's the best way that we could go mainstream is to have the SEC come at us and for Richard to win and destroy him, because Richard's here for the glory. You know, he is going to take them head on. We could see with his 11 lawyers that he already has. You know, he is fighting them tooth and nail. He is going to bring that drama. They want the drama. They got it. You know, and then everyone out there is going to look at all the influencers just in the past, 2 weeks. Look at all the big influencers that have brought up Hex. You got BitBoy now, or Ben Crypto, whatever, Little Boy Crypto. I don't know what we call him now. I have no idea what we call him. But look what he's doing right now. You know, he's talking about like, oh, I'm going to do a stream about this, you know. But also I want people here to realize that dude had Hex early on and he dumped. He sold his ass out and chased other things. So be careful with that. But hey, if he talks about it, good, great. It's a positive. But that's the truth though. Am I lying? I'm not lying about this.
You're not
You're
wrong.
not lying. You are not lying.
You ain't lying.
My man
was about to
chased
say it.
other things.
Yeah. Other things. I don't want to go personal, you know, because when you go personal, you have no legitimate argument, but just do your own
Yeah.
research. Richard taught us always do your own research. That's why I love Richard. Because you got to realize I found Richard in February of 21. I'm not an OG Hexican. I found Richard during an ice storm in February of 21. I was furious because I was shielded Meet Kevin Meet Kevin, that wrecked ass fucking pleb. I was shield Meet Kevin continuously, stocks, all this stuff, everything, the C word, everything that he talked about. And I'm like, my God, all of a sudden I find Richard. I'm like, why wasn't this pushed to me? You know, why did I see this on my YouTube algorithm? And once I saw Richard, and I'll be completely honest with y'all, when I saw Richard, I said, who is this cocky ass motherfucker? Honestly, I was like, this dude is cocky. But he started speaking my language. He started using terms, you know, that I didn't understand. So I was like, let me go. Because I didn't know DeFi. I was a CeFi guy. I was a, AMC guy, GameStop, Webull, Robinhood, Coinbase guy. You know, I'd wake up in the morning and buy whatever went up on Coinbase. If it went up 30%, I was buying that shit. And then I'd wake up the next day, that shit was down 180%. So he taught me DeFi, and so I'm forever grateful to Richard. So just had to throw that out there.
Absolutely. He's taught so many people so many things about crypto, and also just like general finance, to be honest. Definitely one of the people that's been exposing a lot of the scams, a lot of the get rich quick schemes. And I know that when you found him was probably when he was at the height of the outrage marketing stuff. But at the same time,
no, this was before outrage.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Oh, this was when he was just, this is black t-shirt Richard. When I found Richard, he was wearing the black t-shirt. This is before, because remember, if y'all remember, he was going to stop cussing on streams. You know, he was black t-shirt Richard, then he was going to stop cussing on streams and like clean his act up. Then he went outrage marketing. And then he came back down.
That's true, yeah. What did you think when you saw the outrage marketing start to happen?
I decided I was going to outrage market myself.
Well, if it works, it works.
I was like, hey, we're going to just go. If he wants to bring the violence, we'll bring the violence. He wants to bring the craziness, why not? It had worked so far, you know?
Yeah, I mean, you can't lie. Outrage marketing has its place. It really does.
Absolutely. It's good times, man. I love to see more black t-shirt Richard.
Just would love to see more Richard. I know he's in the middle of all of his legal stuff right now, so the optimal strategy there is go put your head in the sand and go away for a while. But I think a lot of us have been missing him, just looking for something.
Well, the fact that he has opened up replies on his tweets is kind of like coming back, a way of coming back, somewhat of engagement, even if he's not actually responding to any of those replies. There's still the opportunity for some kind of dialogue to go on there. But, you know, I'm telling you, when Richard goes to court, you know, assuming he actually shows up there, not just his lawyers, it's going to be like a freaking Tyson fight, man. The judge is not going to dismiss the case. There's no way. She's like, I want to be in front row seat. I want to watch this happen, because this is like a once in a lifetime. This is going to be a precedent setting case. I mean, this isn't just going to be like, you know, Richard's going to win. This is going to be a win for everyone. Our whole space is going to be thrust into the public eye in a way that it has not happened yet.
And everybody's going to be watching it too.
Yeah,
you know they are, because they're going to be watching it saying, oh, we hope Richard loses. We hope they get fucked. And then they're going to.
It's going to be like the OJ trial, man. The glove don't quit. You got to let Richard acquit.
we need court access so people can show up and stream that shit. We want that shit streamed.
You know, I knew instinctively from the beginning, you know, from being in Hex from day one, I knew it was going to follow, the price chart was going to follow that of Amazon. When Amazon launched, I knew that was going to be a revolutionary way of doing retail. And this price chart, it went up and then it crashed 95% because the people that got in first buying Amazon stock, they were chasing the newest shiny object, e-commerce. but the people that held through, it went flat for a long time, and then it started to go up and to the right, and it's been going up and to the right ever since. And this is what I see the Richard Heart ecosystem doing. We've had this big run up, then it crashed, and we've been going sideways for a long time. I like to believe that we're now starting that up and to the right that will go on forever. I mean, I'd like to believe that. I can't predict that.
It has the potential to, but it's the community's job to make sure that that happens.
Yeah.
Because if the community loses sight, and if the community fails in what the community is supposed to be doing, then, you know, we could see something drastically different than that. And, you know, people just need to understand exactly what the ecosystem is, exactly what it was designed to do. And then they need to form their ideas and how they interact accordingly. And yeah,
I think we're getting a taste of that right now. Right?
Yeah, I agree.
I think we're getting a taste of it right now.
I mean, ultimately, yes, you know, it does involve human interaction to make this product successful. The good thing is the success is going to be based on what the product actually brings to the table, and not the fact that I've got a bag of it and I want everybody to pump my bag. It's like, you know, we have a fully decentralized, vertically integrated ecosystem at our disposal, and the power that we have to exercise in relationship to that system is almost incomprehensible to the average person. Even the average Hexican may not understand what the potential that we actually have at our disposal. Somebody's going to understand that, and they're going to capitalize on it. Now, preferably, I would like to see the Hex community, you know, be the people to do that, but somebody's going to do it. I know I'm here to do it. So I'm excited. I think this is just the very beginning of what is going to be a beautiful relationship.
Tim, you're not wrong. I think one of the it's not really even a secret. Richard's been very vocal about this, is that the PulseChain system was created to help benefit Hex, to help make Hex better. Hex was that crown jewel. Everything is right now just being built around it. The people that you're talking about that are going to come in and help make the space even better, I think we're already seeing some of those people. It's people like the entire Liquid Loans team, including like Walrus and everybody over there.
Oh, absolutely.
It's people that see the space for what it is, are fans of the product. Sorry, Trap. I know you're not I'm
not a fan, but hey, you're right. But you're right, Richard. What you're saying with Richard, keep going.
It's people see that PulseChain is here to support Hex. Hex is still gold, baby. Hex is still the way to do it. Anything that's going to support it is going to be beneficial overall to everybody involved. Even if you're not involved in all those other projects that are going on, having an economy and a system built around the thing you care about is going to help boost it. That's my take, anyways.
It's like Hex's product, PulseChain is the infrastructure to support the product. And then we have, you know, Coast, for example. We have a fiat on-ramp, off-ramp that is now in 99 countries. You know, that is, to me, that is a dream come true. I remember back in the early days of Bitcoin, people talking about banking the unbanked, making their product available to people around the world. It never really happened without having to get involved with middlemen and stuff. Now we have people that are making direct access to Pulse and PulseChain and Hex in 99 countries of the world. That is unbelievable. That is absolute. And these guys have done that in like a year. I mean, Coast is barely.
And this money transmitter license are not cheap at all.
Yeah, exactly.
Not cheap. It takes so much.
And then we have like internet money, which is a wallet. So it's like we have fiat on ramp, off ramp, we have wallet, we have product, we have infrastructure, and then we have things like Liquid Loans, which is a lending platform, whether you like it or not. You know, we have all of these things that are being created organically to make this system successful. And, you know, I don't know how anybody who has the slightest understanding of this could not be totally excited by it. I mean, there's sometimes when I have trouble sleeping. It's like green candles are kind of detrimental to my health, especially if they happen at night.
Always.
I don't know how that stops you from sleeping. I thought you're incentivized to sleep by getting paid for it, Tim.
Sometimes when you're making so much money while you sleep, it's hard to go to sleep.
I can see getting excited for that. That sounds very exciting.
But the nice thing is I can afford to sleep in as late as I want, and that's the secret right there.
Be your own bank. Be your own bank.
I know. I've heard a lot of ways people try to be their own bank, whether it's through like setting up their own life insurance and then lending against it. But I tell you, this just seems way more intuitive and just a better way of doing it. So I'm happy we have it. Very happy we have Hex and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, and this thing we've got Hex, we have Pulse, we have Pulse X. You know, if people want to throw the ink in, but I have my own opinions about ink. I love ink. I don't hate on ink whatsoever, but you know, it is the incentive token, you know, so you're incentivized to liquidity provide, but that, you know, if I had to dump one of the four, that's going to be the first one, you know, because it's the incentive. And then maybe that might be wrong. I don't know. Like that, there's some crazy game theory out there with it. Is that one to hold? Look at the cap supply. What's the cap supply? Like 21 million, something like that.
It inflates 1 coin per second for the first year, and then the rate of inflation, it's disinflationary each year.
Yep.
So less and less is being
it goes to like 50%, right?
Yeah, I think it cuts by like 50%
every year, like continuously.
Yeah, if I remember. So, and then
there's some game theory with that too. Like that's above my head, so I'm not trying to tell you anything about that.
Adding game theory on top of game theory, you know, it's worth. I think it's worth it to throw in here a shout out to Johnny Sachs for his mathematical evaluation of COM, which is called the secret weapon, which serves as a decentralized automatic marketing network for Hex, which I just am in love with. I mean, like Hex, COM, and Inc. are my 3 favorite tokens on the RH ecosystem right now. I just love the whole marketing budget that COM provides for Hex. Plus it has the referral program. I love it. I just see a very bright future for it. The only thing that would make it any better is if there were a Hex COM pair in the farm on PulseX. I think that would be like that would be nuclear. It would be. Oh,
can you bring COM back to the OG days and self-refer yourself?
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, you can.
Nice. Okay. I'll have to do more research on this.
Okay.
I know it's cheap as shit to buy. I know it's cheap as shit to buy right now.
It's all got potential to be great, but it still has to prove itself.
Okay, Crypto Ewok asked the question, how can you leave out Icosa, Timmy? Well, I'm not. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm also a big fan of Alex's work. I love Hedron. I love Icosa. And I haven't been following up on the V2 that he's working on, but if it is what I think it is and it integrates COM and Hedron, that is another nuclear option that is going to blow up everything. It is, if that is what I think it is, and that's what it does, the implications of that are going to be enormous as far as the optionality that brings to the table to help make Hex and the whole PulseChain system that much more profitable. Wow. Just wow.
All right, let's do one last shout out to the chat. Again, we got 71 people right now watching us live. Chat's on fire. Yeah, it's been on fire all night. So shout out to the chat. Yeah, it's a lot to run through, man. We are probably going to be going for another 25 minutes. So if anybody wants to hop on, links in the description. You guys can hop on. If you guys want to be off camera, that's fine. Just when you're in the green room, we'll just need to take a look at you with your camera on. just to make sure there's nothing inappropriate, anything like that, and then we can let you on with your camera off. So if anybody wants to hop on, go ahead and hop on. We're probably going to be going for another, I don't know, 20, 25 minutes. So.
For sure. Have we did we hit all the super chats, by the way? I know we flashed Hex Monkey's $10 super chat up there. He was saying, I want to see Richard Hart in the courtroom giving a speech the world remembers forever, like the John Galt speech at the end of Atlas Shrugged. You got to say, you know, this guy's read pretty well if he's referencing Atlas Shrugged. So good to see you in here, Hex Monkey. Thank you for that. And then we also have one from the Herc for $39.99 of, I had to look this one up. That is the South African Rand. I'm not sure what the conversion rate is, but Herc, good to see you, brother. Thanks for joining in.
Yeah, I would have no idea what ZAR means.
For some reason, when I first saw that, I was like, oh, yes, the Zimbabwe rupee. And I'm like, that is completely wrong. Not even close. Whatever.
You ain't lying. The chat is on fire tonight. Shout out to everybody in the chat.
For sure. And like Josh just said, if you're in the chat and you want to come on and chat, please do so. The link should be down in the description just below the stream you're watching. Click it, get in here, and say hi, ask us questions, ask the chat questions yourself. Do it.
Looks like there's a lot of shy people in the chat tonight.
Yeah, it's fine. They're not crazy like us and go show our faces everywhere.
Sometimes it happens.
Yep. Get wrecked. Look, it's one thing too is I never, and I'll touch on this more with you tomorrow night, Tim, but I never wanted to stream. This was never anything I ever wanted to do. If you'd have told me in February 21 when I found Richard, you're going to get on live streams, you're going to talk to other people, you're going to, interact like you are, I had laughed in your face and been like, fuck no, you couldn't pay me enough money in this world to do it. Now I do it for fucking free. I'm inspired. Like it's a great community. There's good and there's bad. There is good and there's bad, but the good outweighs the bad by far. And that's why I'm here.
Yeah, everyone can do a little part, even if it's pulling, getting on Twitter and posting some cool information on Twitter and developing a little following there, or it doesn't matter what it is. Create a local meetup. If everyone really let the world know how they feel about the ecosystem that we're in and the stuff that's important that we like to follow, then that's a good testimony, Trap. Absolutely.
Yeah, Trap, I think the reason that you wanted to stream is something that's shared amongst a lot of people in the Hex community, and honestly is also part of the reason why I think the Hex community has the best pitch to people. It's the idea that we're not out here streaming or in Hex talking about it to try to shield people money for a rug pull or something. It's the fact that we believe in this product.
Hey, Zenith, I had to mute you real quick. Was he going digital to you guys?
Yeah, he was going completely digital to me.
Yeah.
All right.
I heard what he was saying, but it was like,
Yeah, you're a little bit better now. You're going.
Yeah, you're a little chopped up.
Sorry, RoboZ came in. Yeah, I was saying the reason that Hex is the best pitch is because we're out here not trying to shill rug pulls to people, but because we genuinely believe in the project. And it's the fact that we get more people in here, we're all going to do better, including the people you bring in. So it's like we're not out here streaming for cash. We're not out here streaming for sponsorships of shit coins that we're just going to dump on people. This is the grassroots community. Whether you see it by trying to get people into the crypto system or into streaming or into Twitter or groups or meetups, that's how I felt about it. And one of the reasons why I've been trying to go as hard as I have been with the team over at DGen Roundtable for streams.
Oh yeah, I love it, bro.
Yeah. I love being online and I love talking to people. So I recently got Starlink to upgrade my internet service. So I'm actually wanting to do my own live streaming. I got to, just put myself in a place to do it. Because if I do it, I want to be able to do it on a regular basis. And, between working on building my house and just helping friends out that with little jobs here and there, being able to balance all that is going to be an issue with me. But it's something I definitely want to do regularly.
Definitely.
I mean, I'm here tonight. I'm going to be on with Trap tomorrow night. So, but yeah,
we got
Yeah.
me and Tim got Hex History episode 2
Yes.
tomorrow night, and I am
All
super
right,
pumped.
sweet.
That's why I'm trying to hold so much back because I'm here with Tim right now. So I'm like, I don't want to blow my load per se. Like, all my information that I have, like, and what I want to ask Tim. So I'm trying to like not touch that area right now.
Sure.
Me and
No,
Tim
you're
gonna go
good.
tomorrow night. But
Yeah.
yeah.
And
I'm
So-
super excited about it. I am super excited about it.
yeah, so am I.
Where can people find you guys tomorrow night? Where are you going to be located?
Hex Futures. It'll be on Hex Futures. Look, I'll get the YouTube link and I'll post it in the chat under Trap Gravity there. But it's on
Perfect.
the Hex Futures channel. We got a conglomerate of Hexicans around us that are good ass Hexicans. OG Hexicans, not all of us, but there's good ass people around us and we're just doing the good part. You know, we're out there, we're building, we're trying to put content out there. We have a little thing called the Kano Cast where it's like Hex News. It's a Volcano Cast, but we call it the Kano
Nice.
Cast, and it's like a little Hex News type thing. We utilize AI a lot for that. AI says all the words, like, so it's nobody speaking. It's just the news for the week or news for the past day or two, but it's an AI chick saying it, and it's funny because I find comedy in it because AI translates words different than we translate them. You know, certain projects they'll call them like Titty Ann and shit like that. Whenever it's not, you know, they'll do it, and it's just natural with AI. That's the way it happens. So there's just funny things. It's worth the look.
Sounds like it.
You know?
Using cool tools like that is definitely something that's going to help folks getting into the space. I know personally for me, when I make content, like video editing is the bane of my existence. Because I know I'm just trying to make like a 10-minute video at the most. And I'm like, all right, well, here goes 5 hours of my night.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a skill issue, but that's
Use
what
AI.
I'm seeing from my end.
Look, I sell a lot. Like I'm a reseller. Like this hat, thrift store hat. I always talk about thrift stores, chair, everything's thrift store. I've started using AI to do the descriptions for things that I resell on eBay, Macari, Poshmark. Saves time. You put in I type in 10 words and they give me a full ass description. I copy and paste it. Saves me time.
It's only going to get more advanced.
I know. It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's only going to get more advanced, and it's going to be interesting. I mean, look, we can go down a rabbit trail here, so I want to try to keep it on topic. You know what I'm saying? Because
yeah, I know
that's a completely different whole rabbit trail. But yeah, I mean, when you think of where we were even just 5 years ago, and then where AI is now, you know,
2 years ago, a year ago,
yeah. So, you know, imagine 2027, 2028, where we're going to be. You know, it's
imagine the hex price in 27, 28. Holy shit.
And we're getting excited about this cycle. I know all the cycles after this are just going to be even better because at this point, it's just like building that initial stack now. And then once you get your initial return on investment, it just feels like playing with casino chips you just got for free.
All right, last topic. What do you guys want to talk about?
We actually have a question. I think Trap might be a good answer for this one. Benny Blanco in the chat asks, which one is the best free AI tool to use?
Bing. What a Richard. I mean, how can we go against what Richard talked about? Remember he said Bing AI. I think that's a
Bing AI.
Very good tool.
How long have you been using the AI? How long have you been using the AI tools, by the way?
I don't use them that much. I've got friends out there that use them for me.
Or how long, like time frame?
Oh, that's the same. Less than a year. Shit, 6 months. 6 months.
Well, shoot. I want to say, when did ChatGPT come out? ChatGPT came out.
There we go.
March
we got
2023.
a new person.
Hey, MT Coiner, welcome, man.
What up,
Happy
MT Coiner?
17 months.
Is it MT Coiner or is it Mount Coiner?
MT Coiner, preferably.
There we go.
I'll respond.
Nice. What's up, brother?
I just figured I'd pop in right at the end here. You know, I was sitting there thinking as you guys were saying, come on in. And I'm thinking, you know, what the hell am I supposed to come in here and say? you know, I've been here since literally day one of the sacrifice. I FOMO'd day one. Richard told me not to. I did it anyway, and I'm proud of it. I've been here for the whole thing, and I've never been able to think of anything real to say. And I'm way better at putting it in the chat. I'm way better at typing out my ideas versus talking about it.
Well, you lost your virginity tonight now, brother.
Yeah, man.
No, I've been on here a lot of times over the course, you know, of the years. How long we've been around now? Like 4 years we've been doing this.
Close.
Even before Hex launched, I was kind of lurking in the shadows and watching and trying to figure out what the heck was going on. So right at the end here, I just kind of want to hop in and say, you know, to people, if there's anybody watching that's not sure what the hell is going on here, just keep watching and maybe try to position yourself to take a little advantage of it if it does go wild. We saw the first cycle. Nobody thought Hex was going to surpass the moon like it did. It just went stupid. It went so dumb, guys. I don't even think Richard thought it was going to do that. Honestly, he was probably rocked back in his seat as well, I would imagine. And there's no guarantee that PulseChain or PulseX or incentive token or anything else is going to do that. But life in general is a game of probabilities. If you kind of look at what has happened in the past, history doesn't necessarily repeat itself, but it tends to rhyme. And if you have great people doing great things over and over and over again, they tend to just do better and better at those things. Look at Elon Musk. You look at the people who made Amazon or eBay or anything else. As much as we might hate what some of those services do, they keep getting better and they keep growing and they keep surprising you. So don't be surprised if you get surprised again and again. But the game is not to keep getting surprised, but is to eventually be the person telling other people about it. You don't want to look back and say, oh, I watched all this stuff happen. And I just watched. I just sat in the sidelines and watched. So, oh, that's entertaining. You want to just have something in there. Just a little something to play with. Just feel it, touch it. Get your feet wet. Don't blow your load on it. Like me and my wife were just talking about going to Vegas, you know. And we're like, you know, we're trying to buy a new house. We really shouldn't go to Vegas. We just shouldn't. Like I want to come hang out with guys. I want to come see everybody. Been here since before day one. I love seeing Timothy Benjamin. Saw him in Vegas last time, you know, briefly. You know, I tracked down Crypto Coffee in a t-shirt shop and shook his hand, took a picture with him. It's just cool to go interact with everybody.
Yeah.
It's difficult to find the time, especially if you have children, if you have obligations, maybe you have a business or you're dedicated to a job or whatever it is. It's so hard to go do this stuff. And so hats off to everybody that somehow finds the time to like travel all over the country and put these things on. I wish I could go see everybody more. And we will, but you gotta hang on because the roller coaster ride is so intense. And you're going to see like that first 10x and you're going to want to let go. And maybe you hang out a little longer and you see a 20x and then you let go. And then you already made the mistake at that point. Because then it goes, how far did Hex go, guys?
10,000, baby.
10,000 Hex. How many people?
It's a lot bigger than 20.
Yeah. Yeah. And I was one of the victims. I didn't hang on as hard as I should have, but I'm following my basic principles, right? Like DCA out, like stuff doesn't do this all the time. So you got to take the gains when you, and I bought a little house and got a little truck and did all the stuff. And now I'm sitting good. I'm sitting fairly comfortable, but man, it pumped to 50 freaking cents after that. And I bought a house and a truck. I bought a house and a truck at like 2 pennies.
Just think you could have
Imagine if
bought a
I would've held on
Lambo
to
and a
that.
mansion, bro. You could have bought a Lambo
Exactly.
and a mansion.
So I have a little bit of experience in getting to taste the sweetness, but not getting to eat the cake, right? And
Fair.
I hope
Well, you know
other
better this
people-
time. Hey,
I know better this time.
you're gonna
I've
you're
been
gonna eat
sitting
the
like
cake this
this for years now, just watching.
I think
Hey,
one of
I
the
gotta
big
go for it, Josh.
Yeah, I think one of the big things, especially those folks that are still relatively new into the crypto space, you know, when they do these investments, they have a certain price point that they have to reach. And once it reaches that price point, they're like, okay, ejecting, I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? Instead of looking at cryptocurrency as, you know, time in the market versus timing the market. You know, don't worry about hitting a specific number. Take your time, do your research, learn different analytics and stuff like that, and then you don't have to worry about hitting a specific price point. You can sit there, you can be comfortable, and then you can pull out and you can DCA out when you feel the time is best. And it doesn't have to be price focused at that point. But you know, that's just a human emotion. You know, everybody's okay. If Pulse hits this amount, I'm gonna punch out. If Hex hits this amount, I'm done. I'm gone. I'll see you guys in the Bahamas. But yeah, if people start looking long term towards it and start putting focus and energy behind it, as opposed to just looking for a certain price point, I think a whole lot more people would be more well off, and they would be able to stomach those 2Xs into 4Xs into 16Xs into 100Xs. So that's my thought on that.
Absolutely. And I would say if you are somebody who doesn't have ridiculous amounts of money in this, if you're just an average guy playing around in this thing, don't sit there and stare at the charts constantly. Don't even pay attention. Just go about your daily life, work harder than you've ever worked at work, worked harder than you've ever worked for your family, and just do all the stuff you were already doing before you discovered it, and just do it better, and just keep stacking little bits at a time. Don't spend your rent money, don't spend your food money, don't spend the money that you need to put new tires on your car or get an oil change, anything. Don't tap into any of that. But get those little bits that you would have spent on junk, put them aside, and get them in here. And then the same thing. Don't touch those for nothing, because you pulled that money out of a safe place and then you put it into another safe place, if you will, where you don't have to live off that. And so those small amounts, I mean, I think in the beginning of Hex, I put like $300 or something in. And if you do the math, it turned into stupid amounts of money. And it was $300 over like the first 60 days of the AA lobby. And there was a couple of really good days in there. But that couple of $100 that I kind of plucked away and put in there over the course of a couple of months did ridiculous things. And it was because I just let it sit. I didn't touch it. And I didn't see shiny stuff all around and go try to grab these altcoins up and these other cryptos up. I just stayed the course. I just kept walking the path nice and slow, and I didn't veer off. And then I started going
Staking
stupid.
saves you. That's where staking your Hex saves you.
Yeah, absolutely. And staking is great.
It saves you.
Because then it kind of locks you out of it, and then you have to make a huge, blatant, dumb mistake to get it back early. And it tells you that you're going to make a dumb mistake right there. There's a little screen that pops up.
So I tell everybody all the time, Hex is a truth engine. You know, you stake it 10 years, you dump it a year later, you're going to eat the penalties. You could literally look at the penalties you're going to receive for ending that stake, and it's brutal. It's brutal. You at least have to do 50% of your stake, you know, so only stake what you want to stake, however long you're comfortable with, but staking saves people. And then also it takes the worries away of, you don't have to watch the charts every day. You can just step away. You stake,
you just chill, go
walk the fuck away. Walk the fuck away and look at the depending on how much. I mean, look at the T-shares you're earning every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, those 90% dumps don't matter. when you're staked.
Exactly. You don't care
You know?
because you're
It's
still
like,
earning
okay.
hex. You're still earning
All right.
hex. You know,
Yeah.
y'all dump the price. Hey, early in stake, guys. Everybody dump your fucking stakes right now. Early in stake.
And I think every
Trap's trying to
stake,
collect all your yield.
I think every stake I ever made less than 5 years, and obviously we haven't hit the 5-year mark, I regret. I should have staked them all longer, every single one of them. And I should have staked a lot more longer. Because everything that has come out before that point has basically just been regret. Like, man, that could have been so much better. Now I got to restake at a highly diminished T-share rate as compared to where I started.
Yeah, especially if you're in the AA. Especially if you're in the AA.
Yeah.
You're staking at
Early stakes in the AA. They just can't replicate that. And you can't launch a new coin and start over. It just doesn't work that way. Like, the idea is taken already. People tried it, you know, and those didn't work out. You don't even know what their names are, most people, because they just died. Not that applies now. And maybe it does. Maybe these really long stakes are still a really good idea, but especially if you were in early days of the AA, the T-share rates you got. I feel bad for anybody that staked short stakes, and so many of us did, because we were dabbling. We were trying to be careful, just dipping our toes in, playing a little bit.
It was $2 for a T-share, right? $2.
Was that
$2 for a T-share?
It was like, it was like free, basically.
Yeah, $2.
That's wild.
$2 now for a T-share. You're looking at what?
Like $500 or something right now.
Yeah, and that's
actually it's probably double that.
But still, that's a big.
That's with our low price right now. Imagine if it goes back to 50 cents. Imagine what that's going to look like.
Well, also the time it takes to get to 50 cents too. That's also going to compound, because I want to say we're at like 33,000 hex for a T-share right now, somewhere in there.
Yeah,
it's wild. Hey, MT, I got a question for you. So, as an OG guy that's seen hex kind of progress throughout the day, as you two Trap, what's your guys' elevator pitch for no coiners or people that aren't in hex? Like, what's the quick and dirty why you should be in this?
Hex was created to fix the problems Bitcoin has, and I stress has, not had.
Still has.
That's it. You know, they tell you, everybody around you is going to tell you, get in Bitcoin, get in hex, take your hex. That's just, it's that simple. It's really that simple.
I've tumbled
this. You can earn yield on Bitcoin. You can earn yield on hex.
MT, what you got?
No, that's a lot of it. I've tumbled the question around so many times in my head that I've lost track of it. Like, what is the best pitch? I don't even know at this point. And it's hard to bring new people in right now with just how chopped up everything is. You know, you got to download it on your. Even some of my onboards that were doing it like on phones are like, what do I do? Like, well, you got to buy a computer. Mostly.
Captain, your mic's on.
I think it's RG. He's on the road trying to chime in.
Yeah. That's what I said, Captain, your
Sup, RG. We've seen that guy in a while.
Well, I know that we're probably going to be closing out here pretty soon. I think that's why he was popping on. Yeah, it's coming up on that time. Do you guys have any final thoughts or anything before he pops back on and closes it out?
Trap Gravity and I are going to be doing a live stream tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Central Time, 6 o'clock Mountain Time. So if anybody wants to join us,
they'll be on the Hex Futures.
Yes.
YouTube channel. Me and Tim. It's going to be a deadhead stream. Great stream.
Question for you boys. What time?
6 p.m. Mountain Time, 7 Central.
Perfect. Love it.
I should be off the ice by then. I'm going ice fishing all day.
Oh yeah, I'll put the link in the comments earlier for the actual YouTube.
Right on, guys. It's good to see everybody.
You too. Good to see everybody. Thanks to everybody for showing up, coming on stream, or jumping in the chat. I see a lot of familiar faces, and I also see a lot of new folks that have been raising some like really good points and questions. So this has been a blast for me.
Oh yeah, it's good to meet you, Zenith. It's my first time hanging out with you. Same with you, Mount Coiner. You know, Josh.
I've just seen you around a lot. I've just never really chatted with you. Then I saw the camo hat. I was like, hey, I bet me and this guy have a lot in common.
I got a whole camo suit on right now. Like I said, I was hunting shit coiners today. So
there you go.
Gotta go covert.
Absolutely.
I love that tagline. Beautiful.
All right,
Josh,
guys.
what are you thinking?
Yeah. I'm chatting. Yeah, I'm sort of chatting with SJ here. So we're about to close the sucker out. Yeah, so good show, guys. I think it was absolutely phenomenal. Trap, I think that episode that you and Tim are going to have tomorrow night is going to be awesome. Again, shout out to the chat. Chat was on fire tonight. We got 80 people still watching us live right now. So shout out to the chat. And yeah, we hope everyone has a good night. And yeah, we will gladly have Captain back on next Friday for a regular show.